Hello again. It's been a while, I know. Um, I figured today would be a good day to make a video because today is 1 year sober for me from from meth. So I keep getting these awesome comments on my Reddit posts and on my videos of people um, asking when I'm going to post again, and it still blows my mind that anybody is interested in this at all. But I'm super grateful for all the interest and for all the love that I get from everybody. Um, I know that there's maybe one or two people that are going to be excited to see that I posted again, and that's so cool to me that like I said, that anybody really cares. Um, so yeah, I figured I'd just kind of go over the last year and what I've been doing and what's worked, what hasn't worked, and I really, for the life of me, can't remember what I said in my other videos. So I'm sorry if I kind of go over things I've already gone over. Um, so about a year ago, actually exactly a year ago, is obviously when I stopped using. I had an apartment downtown Kansas City, um, and I was working at Amazon. I was working 40 hours a week, paying my own bills and everything like that, and I was using very, very heavily, intravenously. And I somehow contracted hepatitis A, maybe just over a year ago, maybe a year and a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure exactly when I contracted it, but um, and I got really sick. I got very sick. I don't know if it was from the hepatitis A. I think I had injected dirty water, water that was just sitting in my apartment. I think I talked about that in one of my other videos, but um, and whether it was bacteria in the water, the hepatitis A, whatever, I just got really, really sick, and I had texted my dad like a day before, or maybe on the same day, and just said, because my whole family knew and everything, and they're all very worried about me, obviously, and um, I said, "It's almost time, Dad. It's almost time," and he said, "It's been time," just kind of trying to get me to see the light a little bit, and so eventually I just got so sick. I was just in and out of consciousness, um, throwing up, all that nasty stuff, and so my main concern was that I had this job that I liked. At Amazon, when you're a driver, it is pretty fast paced and pretty strict conditions. You got somebody looking over your shoulder the whole time, but you work 4 days a week and you get paid 40 hours, whether or not you work 10 hours a day or not. And I really did. I usually work like 32 hours a week and got paid for 40. And that was great. It was like $18 an hour too. So um, it's hard to let that go. And it's just I just like being out on my own and having somebody say, here's what you got to do, go do it. And then I go do it. And so I just decided I sent an email to my boss and I thanked them for the opportunity to work with them and told them that it is life or death. I didn't really explain to them really what was going on, but they were so helpful and so supportive, and the company was Your Express Solutions, based here in Kansas City, and they're really amazing. The people that run that place. Keenan and Dawn are their names, and they're just two amazing people. They said, if you ever need a job, let us know, and because I couldn't put in my 2 weeks or anything like that, and it was very, very refreshing to just see people care about, and I always knew they were like that. I always knew they were very caring and very supportive, and just good people. So my dad came and picked me up, took me back to their house, to my parents' house where I grew up, and that day my dad really wanted me to go to a rehab facility, because he really didn't want me to lose the steam that I had. He didn't want me to, which I understand. He didn't want me to wake up the next morning if I felt better. I thought, nah, I'm fine. I can go back and keep doing what I was doing, which I might have. And so we went to a place here in Kansas. I live closer to Missouri, but I do live in Kansas. It was a place in Olathe, Kansas called Cottonwood Springs, and that was a nightmare. We got there, and I was obviously very sick. I was in withdrawals. Sick as in when you get sick from meth withdrawals, it's not like heroin withdrawals. With meth withdrawals, you get hungry, depressed, and tired, among some other things. And so I was basically just sleeping in the waiting room, and we finally got to go back. And again, I'm sorry if I already explained all this in one of my other videos. I can't really remember. But they called my name. I went back to this little room, and I sat down. I walked through one door. I had to leave my phone and everything up at the front counter. Walked through this door to the back, and then walked through another door to this little tiny room with 2 chairs in it. And I sat there, and they said, somebody will be with you shortly. I said, all right. And my mom was there with me. She was still in the waiting room. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I was not in a good mood. I'm usually very good with people. I'm patient, I'm respectful, but I was just not doing very well. And there was this girl who kept walking up and down the hallway, and she would walk into my room a couple times, and it was clearly, she clearly had something going on. I don't know what it was. Some kind of very severe mental illness, and I just wasn't in the right state of mind to deal with that. And she was just asking me questions. I wasn't scared of her or anything. I just, like I said, I was just not in the right state of mind. And so I was just wondering, what's happening? Where is everybody? What's going on? And so after the 3rd time she walked in the room and left, I found somebody who was walking by. I said, hey, this girl keeps coming in my room. What's happening? Can I talk to a doctor or something? And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, we'll take care of that. And then like an hour goes by. The girl doesn't come back into my room, but eventually I go out and I say, hey, I'm done. I want to leave. I've been sitting here for an hour. And they said, oh, we can't let you leave. And I'm like, but I'm not a patient here. I'm getting checked in. I don't want to get checked in. Just let me leave. They said, yeah, we can't let you do that. I said, and that really upset me. I don't like when people tell me what to do. I don't like it at all. And for someone to say you can't leave, I came here of my own volition. I can leave of my own volition. And so I told the woman who I was talking to, get my mom. I want to talk to my mom. And so she said, all right. So she went and got my mom. And my mom came back. My mom also had to leave her phone at the front. And my mom came back and sat down in this little room with me. And I told her, I'm done with this place. I want to leave. And my mom, rightfully thinking that maybe I was just getting cold feet, said, hang on. Let's just wait. Let's just talk to somebody. And so my mom went out into the hallway. And she found somebody walking by. And she said, we'd like to talk to a doctor. And they said, we'll be right with you. And then like 20 minutes passed. And my mom said, all right, yep, we're done. And so we left the room and we found somebody and said, we'd like to leave, please. And they said, you can't leave. And my mom was like, wait, what? And she said, yeah, you can't leave until we check you out. And my mom said, well, I'm his mom. I'm not a patient. Neither is he. We just want to leave. And they said, yeah, we can't let you leave. And so I'm kind of fuming at this point. I don't get angry easily, but I was, I told my mom, we're going to leave. Whether I have to kick the door in or I have to break out a window, we're gonna leave. They can't keep us here against our will. And my mom was trying to keep me calm. And finally, after another 20 minutes, the doctor came in and said, all right, we're ready to get you checked in. And my mom said, nope, let us out. And she said, oh, is there anything we can do to convince you to stay? And I said, no, let us out. Just let us out. We don't want to be here. This is unreal. At that point, I mean, if my mom hadn't been there with me, I would have just found a way out, because that's not... I never checked in. I'm not, you didn't 5150 me. You didn't arrest me. I can go where I want. You can't tell me where I can and can't go. Maybe I overreacted. I don't know. But it really upset me. So we left. Fuck that place. It sucked. We left. I went back to my parents' place. And I stayed the night there. And the next morning, my mom came to me and she said, hey, I'm going to take you to the hospital because your skin's turning yellow. We didn't know I had hepatitis A at that point. So I went to the emergency room, and the doctor said it's obviously something with your liver. They took blood work and they said it's hepatitis. We don't know which one it is yet, but it's hepatitis. So my parents thought it was hepatitis B or C because I obviously use needles, and that's something that doesn't go away. Hepatitis B and C don't go away. And they thought it would just be something I had to live with for the rest of my life. And they were very upset, very nervous. But one of my friends, actually my ex, had hepatitis A. And so I knew it had to have been A. And so I told him that, and turns out it was. Hepatitis A isn't a huge deal if you can get treatment. You really just need to stay hydrated, eat, and not do meth most of all. So they checked me into the hospital and kept me there for like 5 days. And I was really miserable at the time, but I look back on it now and I am kind of nostalgic about it because it was the first 5 days I had ever felt healthy. Not ever, but for years that I had felt healthy and felt like I was making progress in my life. Like I was doing something. I was just laying in this bed, hooked up to an IV, but this is going to sound like very low bar for being healthy, but I was showering, I was brushing my teeth, I was eating 3 meals a day. I wasn't constantly jabbing myself with needles, and I really wanted to get out of there at the time, but I look back on it fondly now. And then I left. My skin turned back normal color, my eyes went back to the normal color, and I had been to a place in 2019 called Cottonwood, not Cottonwood Springs, but Cottonwood in Tucson, Arizona, in 2019 for an unrelated issue, and I went to 2019, not trying to be cryptic, but in 2019 I went there not because of my ex, but because of the relationship I had with my ex was so toxic that I was it was causing some mental health issues. So I really liked it, and my dad said, "Where do you want to go?" And I know that that's a super privileged thing to have the opportunity to do for your parent to just say, "Where do you want to go?" And I understand that, and I wish that it was more accessible to other people because it's a beautiful place, it's a wonderful place, and I'm very lucky to have that opportunity to have gone there. And so I said, I'm going to go back to Cottonwood. And so I went there for 30 days, and the place is just amazing. It's really, I wish I could go back, even for a week or two. Just every day they cook such good food. It's hot as shit in Arizona, obviously in Tucson, but it's just the wildlife and the scenery is beautiful. The people there are amazing. I love being sociable. I love getting up at 8 a.m. and these are things that are really hard to do on my own. Getting up at 8 a.m., working out every day, eating 3 really good meals a day, just feeling like every day is a day that I spent well. I got back from there and just started doing Amazon Flex, really. Still living at my parents' at that point. Just delivering for Amazon, trying to make as much money as I could, trying to keep myself busy. I now have a girlfriend as of about a month and a half ago, for the first time in years. She's wonderful. She was there throughout the whole thing. She met me last February of 2021, and kind of in the depths of my addiction. And she's not an addict. She doesn't use. She stuck with me the whole time and continues to stick with me, and is just a really amazing, supportive person. Very patient, obviously. And so we've kind of been dating for a long time, but we didn't actually make it official until May 1st, just because they tell you in NA to not be in a relationship for the first year of your recovery. And I get that, and I understand that, I don't have a whole lot of spare energy to give to somebody else. But she understands that, and she's been wanting this for a while, as have I, and so we figured we'd go ahead and take the plunge, and she's really amazing. So yeah, then I got a job. She actually is the manager of a dispensary here in Missouri. And so she got me a job delivering, which is crazy. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't smoke. I've tried, I have smoked before in the past many times, and it never really stuck. I just don't really like it. I don't consider that using. Even if I did smoke now, I wouldn't consider that a relapse, because it's pot, who cares? I know that, I don't want to say that. I know pot can be a very detrimental thing for some people. I know some people very close to me that are dependent, maybe addicted to pot. But for me, it's never been a big deal, and I don't smoke anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I got that job. She got me the job delivering pot, either business to business or to people's homes. They can deliver it, have it delivered to their home. I make tips. I'm kind of having an issue with the job right now where they said after 30 days we'll give you $17 an hour from $15 an hour, and it's now been close to 60 days and I'm still at $15 an hour, and they offered me $16 an hour, and so I'm kind of going back and forth saying that's not what you said, and I'm not willing to sell my dignity for $1 an hour. So if that doesn't end up working out in the next week, I'll probably just put my 2 weeks in and keep doing flex. And I have 2 degrees and lots of experience, so I feel like I can work anywhere I want. Not to pat myself on the back too much, but I also got into grad school. Starts in August. I applied last year and kind of had my interview in the worst part of my addiction and didn't get in. My GPA from undergrad is only a 2.8 because when I was 19, 20, I'm 29 now. When I was 19, 20, I was using heroin and kind of failed out of school for the first couple of years, and so my GPA took a hit. But then I signed up for a class that I could take, a graduate level class that I could take in the spring, just to try to show them that I was serious about this and that it meant a lot to me. And I got an A in that class, and then applied again, and they said, okay, you're on probation because of your GPA, but you're in. So far the A is a good start, and I'm looking forward to getting this degree. It's a counseling degree. It would be nice to have a career and not just work jobs that I live paycheck to paycheck, and to actually have some stability and some money and something that I can lean on and be proud of and happy with. And right now I'm just working on my relationship. I'm working on eating healthy. Obviously I live here now. I moved into this house with my little brother, who's my best friend, and he, I think the kids would say he's a thick boy. He's significantly larger than I am. He's probably twice my size, and he lifts and works out all the time, and he's in graduate school here at KU Med to be a PT. When I say he's thick, he's not fat. I think he would disagree with that, but he's big into lifting, and I'm trying to go with him as often as I can to the gym, stay in shape, keep my body healthy, my brain healthy, and so things are looking up. I still have bad days. Obviously, I have a lot of bad days. I have a lot of days where I just think, man, I wish I could just go back. Why did I stop? I wish I didn't stop. I wish it's just so simple. It's so easy. I lived in a hotel, just a shitty hotel, for like a month and a half last year or 2 years ago, and I would just pay every night for the next day. It was like $50 a day, and I would go out, do DoorDash and Postmates, make $50 for the room, make $20 for the meth, go pick it up, come back at 8 o'clock at night. It's like a full-time job, but I knew it was simple, and I knew every day what I was going to do, and there was a real tangible reward at the end of every day that I could look forward to. It wasn't like this metaphysical, intangible idea of trying to reach for happiness. It was happiness in a needle, and it was attainable every 24 hours. So I miss that sometimes. Often I miss that simplicity and that very short-term, goal-oriented kind of drive. And I have never been a very forward-thinking person. I've always been very instant gratification centered, and I'm trying to change that. I was talking to my therapist, and he said that real growth, when you can feel the after before. So doing meth feels really good when you're doing it and shitty after. Working out feels shitty when you're doing it and great after. When you can feel the after before, that's real growth and real maturity. And I've never been good at that. And it's something that I'm working on, trying to just be thoughtful about, how much I'm sleeping, how I'm eating, if I'm shutting myself in too much, all that kind of stuff. And it's hard. I heard people say that give it 6 months and you'll feel like a different person. I do feel like a different person. I feel completely different than I did a year ago. I feel like I literally feel like a new person. And but it's still hard. It's still it's still very hard, and I feel very close to slipping sometimes. I don't want to put out this video and make it sound like it's all rainbows and butterflies, and once you get sober, it's all gonna be fine, because that's what I heard, and it's bullshit. You should get sober. You should get sober because your life is worth more than living in a hotel and getting high every night and being away from your family and giving up your goals for that high. But sometimes I wonder if I would make the trade, and I still don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I hope things keep getting better in a real tangible physical way, because if I turn 50 and my life sucks, I might just say fuck it, man. What's the point? I found a shortcut. I have a plan B. I'll just go get high. But I keep being assured that that's not the case. Just keep on going, and eventually you'll find what I'm looking for. And what I'm looking for is peace and contentment. Not even happiness necessarily. Of course, I'd love happiness, but just some peace, just being okay with where I am and who I am. And so here's to hoping. And sorry for being so long-winded. If you stuck with me this far, from the bottom of my heart, I know it's super weird having the camera here and not being able to converse with you directly, but genuinely from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for watching, and I hope that hope you learned something. I hope you took something away from this. If I'm always up for tips, for conversation, for what works for you guys. What am I missing? What am I doing wrong? What did you learn? Just whatever. And so yeah, thanks for listening, guys. See ya.